Good evening, individuals. It's Sap, my third and final video of today, and I saw it real quick. Let me scroll up a little bit so you can see it on the screen. And it's on New York Post. Weird, I had to make a video about this. What is it called? Libido-Boosting sea turd could hold the secret to fighting cancer. And of course, you gotta be careful because this is the New York Post. It might be just complete, literal dog shit story, but I saw this headline, and of course, I had to make a video about this because, of course, the goal is to make the weirdest, most peculiar videos. I just reviewed I don't know if it was a Chinese man, it was actually a Vietnamese man, who had for 5 months, huge, like this big and not disgusting, but huge chopsticks, raw dogged, penetrated in his brain. And he did not know in the first place how those chopsticks got there. And he didn't even know, he only had the symptoms of headaches. Tell me how you can have these huge, large chopsticks penetrated your brain and barely getting any symptoms, because only a headache, but it might just be because of the crack cocaine last night. Or, binge drinking or whatever, didn't get enough sleep, migraines. But only headaches from 5 months having these large chopsticks in your brain. But now we're going to continue with the next weird news article. Libido-boosting sea turd. Forget the L-theanine, forget the boron, forget the zinc, magnesium. Now it's about libido-boosting sea turd. Could hold the secret to fighting cancer. By the way, the reason I said that shit is because many people, no joke, Google it. Many people take zinc, magnesium, boron, and all types of supplements to boost their libido, especially Boris Johnson, and I feel so bad for his bird that you have to be the one that gets shagged by Bojo. And I hope to God he doesn't take magnesium zinc. If it even works, it might just be a hoax. Because with all the studies, we're going to get into the article, but this is also relevant for this news article. The one common theme with all those studies, unfortunately, is that there's only one group that is actually incentivized to invest money into conducting a study, and that is the pharmaceutical companies or whatever companies that are producing the supplements. Because who the fuck else who is not financially involved wants to randomly conduct an unbiased objective study? Nobody. So that's why it's only the usually flawed study. And in this case, it's relevant because the libido-boosting sea turd would love to have that. I mean, join the mile-high libido-boosting sea turd club, I guess. But if it can actually fight cancer, sure, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that there's a financial incentive behind this from some company. Scientists in the Philippines, okay, so that's extra trustworthy, may have found a powerful weapon in the ongoing battle against cancer. My weapon is raw red onion. Quercetin. Very good, Google it. An alleged virility-enhancing sea cucumber that happens to be a dead ringer for dog poop. They outlined the marine doo-ppelgänger's hilarious apparent anti-cancer properties, among other unique attributes, in a recent study published in the journal Plos One or Plos One. What we found is that horrens contains a lot of bioactive compounds. Yeah, I mean, shit does as well, literal shit. You love that there ate a coli up in a bitch. Which could be effective as cancer fighters. Author Isadora Yu, who conducted the study with researchers at Marine Science Institute, a branch of the University of Philippines, told Gizmodo in an email. I hope she didn't just feast on the shit herself, because although it might have anti-cancer properties, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's meant for human consumption. Because, of course, you can get some anti-cancer therapy by getting some ionizing radiation, destroying the cancer cells, but you're also destroying, of course, a bunch of other cells. If there even are any brain cells left in somebody who goes on Twitter. They found that some of the chemicals could potentially harbor special anti-cancer agents called terpenoid glycosides and saponins. The latter, which is also found in the cells of legumes, is thought to suppress tumor-promoting inflammation by inhibiting the signaling pathways that cause it. Well, you have to be careful because there's actually, I read this recently, this is seriously true, you can Google it, that it was thought that the one reason why we could never prevent aging is because the telomeres, which are the caps of non-coding DNA at the end of the DNA, shorten every single time, a little bit. It shortened a tiny bit every cell division. So even if you could prevent, for example, the reactive oxygen species destroying the cells, reacting with and damaging the DNAs, if after every cell division, which happens throughout your life, of course, the telomeres shorten and shorten, eventually actual coding regions, exons of the DNA, or introns, not exons, right, will actually get shortened by every cell division if the telomeres are no longer long enough. They're no longer there. So that's why you could never prevent aging. But the point I'm trying to make is they thought that if they could somehow make it that the telomeres never erode or never disappear, that you would be not get cancer and not necessarily not get cancer, but be able to fight aging. But it turns out that if you support telomere, you also support the growth of cancer cells massively. So with many of those studies or many of these cutting edge techniques, it might actually be something groundbreaking scientific in the beginning, but it actually turns out it's massively fucking carcinogenic sometimes, because it's not definitively proven. But if you have telomere promoting enzymes, I'm pretty sure you can actually increase the rate of cancer growth if there is a cancer cell growing. You know, it's kind of the same with nicotine. Nicotine is actually a nootropic. It's also neuroprotective against neurodegenerative diseases, but it's also a anxiogenic. Anxiogenic. Do I say that correctly? I don't know. Substance which actually divert more blood vessels to grow the cancer cells. So that's why you shouldn't take nicotine if you already have cancer. But you don't know that, of course. Well, if you go on Twitter again, or if you're a zoophile, puppy playing, dog cosplaying, I should probably check in the brain right quick. Dubbed stichopus CV horrens, the gelatinous invertebrate residues in the warm waters in Southeast Asia. It's already on the market and is recognizable by its spiky exterior, which has earned it the nickname durian sea cucumber, after the spiny, pungent fruit. However, it also bears a striking resemblance to a lumpy dog turd. Alright? Definitely makes sense. I mean, it looks very, very alike. But I still don't understand that this news article, if you're supposed to eat this shit to keep the cancer at bay, or if certain parts of it are used as an extract or supplement to supplement against cancer. What is this? Senator Ben Cardin says staffer who filmed gay sex breached his trust. Okay, well, he definitely breached your fucking anal cavities as well. What we found is that S. horrens contains a lot of bioactive compounds. Said study author, doesn't matter. The species is also known for discarding its knobby exterior in response to threats. A commercially important species, S. horrens, is often dried and sold throughout China and Southeast Asia, where it's perhaps dubiously priced as an aphrodisiac body. It's not even a coincidence that I talked at the beginning of this news article when looking at the headline about zinc, magnesium, boron, and many other compounds that are people... Well, actually, is there a difference between something that is libido-boosting and an aphrodisiac? That's a good question, actually, because you would say libido is the ability to shag, which UK blokes do after a couple pints in a pub, yeah? But then the lights go on at 5 a.m. and then they puke, throw up, because shagging them butts is no longer really enticing. But I didn't study this, and I don't even actually want to know, but is there a difference between the word libido and aphrodisia? Probably libido is the ability, but aphrodisia is wanting to. And yes, this literal wanker who filmed backdoor interactions in Congress in the US happened yesterday. Definitely, you ate some of this fucking libido-boosting sea turd in it. I mean, how the fuck else are you gonna do it in the Congress and film it? Also, good case of never snitch on yourself. You know, you have those rappers who say in the rap, yo, and then I smuggled cocaine and stabbed him in the neck. That's kind of the same level of snitching on yourself as fucking somebody in the ass in Congress and posting it online, or getting, what is it? Getting the poop deck swapped. Not my words. I swear, not my words. But the point is, if you're gonna, upload that, essentially committing a crime. Instead of committing a crime to trespass in Congress and do those dirty things and filming it, it could even seen as potential, not classified information, but are you allowed to film in Congress and post it online? I don't know. I've never been there. And I'm afraid that bad things happen if you go there. But yes, it's like snitching on yourself. Why the fuck would you film it and upload it? But that's another topic for another time. Researchers analyzed the sea cucumber's metabolome, the small molecule metabolites present within an organism, to identify many compounds found in the body wall and viscera. You said. Interesting. Along with mitigating cancer symptoms, the alleged marine panacea also harbors chemicals that are said to promote the growth of neurites, or the neural processes that facilitate communication. Sorry, my bad. It's nasty. Communication between brain cells. Maybe they upregulate neurogenesis and or neuroplasticity, which, by the way, turns out to be, again, kind of a hoax, because neurogenesis, the ability to grow new neurons from stem cells, only happens in the subventricular zone and the hippocampus, and it's so little new neurons that it's actually irrelevant. But there is neurogenesis. You know, back in the day, they used to think you were set for life with what you have, and Joe Biden has about 3 left. But the point I'm trying to make is, yes, there's new brain cells, new neurons, but it's very little and only in certain parts of the brain, and even they don't even know if they actually participate in neural circuits. You know, they might just be useless. Kind of, again, like every TikTok user. They might have some, because they're young still, the brain cells, but they're not communicating at all. That's why they're dog cosplaying. Researchers also found an abundance of phosphatidylcholine, a chemical whose anti-inflammatory properties could benefit people with ulcerative colitis. Lots of lovely words in this article. AKA, this is just, explosive diarrhea after going to Taco Bell, I guess, or irritable bowel syndrome. That's an autoimmune disorder, I believe. Never go to Taco Bell then, because you get some irritable bowel shit right there. Don't start hoarding these spiky sea denisons just yet, alright? Though, as it is purported, cancer-combating chemicals haven't yet been proven to be effective or even safe for use by humans. That's exactly what I just told you with the telomerase hype. Telomerase being the enzyme which puts telomeres, the caps at the end of DNA strands. Again, minor. It's also that knobhead, what is it called? Brian Johnson, the knobhead who looks like a vampire and who got sued for, $9 million by his ex-wife because his shrimp was too small. Or whatever her argument was. I didn't read it, don't care. But the meds used, or the ways used to boost the enzyme telomerase, could actually massively increase the growth of cancer cells if you have cancer, right? Again, same goes for nicotine. Nicotine is not cancer-causing, but it will make it easier for cancer cells, tumors, to get more blood vessels. But I don't know how significant. It's an angiogenic, I believe. But the telomerase shit is a typical example of how if you're too quick and you don't research the adverse effects, you might get the opposite of what you actually want, because the telomerase enzyme boosting Yes, it increases cancer growth if you haven't. Okay, this is another picture probably found in a bathroom of some Mile High Club or whatever that was in the news recently. The Sun, UK newspaper, so everything you know it already. About two nasty individuals doing it in the bathroom of an airplane. How the fuck is that legal, by the way? I don't want to fly on an airplane with fucking UK shaggers doing that. I mean, they should just leave the airplane via the emergency exit or via the toilet if they fit in there, but they don't fit in there because UK is one of the most obese Western countries. Look at Bojo. English breakfast, all right? It's actually pretty amazing. I like it, seriously, the English breakfast, but when I had it recently in the UK, it's so unbelievably fucking fatty. It's if you eat that every day, you die from coronary artery plaque before 40. But it tastes good, so I guess that's worth it as well. And Orange Man is still alive. Who has eaten McDonald's his entire life and eats, by the way, KFC with a fork and knife. But he's still up and running. You and her colleagues are currently working to synthesize these chemicals for human consumption, as well as genetically engineer the critters to ensure they have an ample supply. We are currently studying how traditional processing methods, drying, boiling, etc., will affect the metabolome of S. horrens, she explained. Interestingly, this isn't the sea cucumber's first time at the rodeo. I hope not inserted into body cavities, as a supposed marine remedy. Traditional Chinese medicine enthusiasts, now you gotta be very careful for COVID-20. No, it's not xenophobia, but if Chinese start talking about trying different types of food, treatments, and medicines, it might just escape from a lab again. Traditional Chinese medicine enthusiasts have treasured the trepang as an aphrodisiac. Xi Jinping is fucking shagging like crazy if he eats this sea turd, the libido-boosting sea turd. Yeah, so they have treasured the trepang as an aphrodisiac, a belief likely fueled by its phallic shape and habit of discharging its innards when threatened. How is that? Oi, how the fuck is that? The belief that the sea turd is an aphrodisiac, how is that fueled? Okay, you could say the phallic shape, but how is it fueled by the habit of discharging its innards when threatened? I don't know how that makes it seem like an aphrodisiac. You know, having massive explosive diarrhea on the toilet of Taco Bell, it doesn't relate to me as an aphrodisiac. Maybe that's just me. But maybe for the guy in the Congress in the US who filmed it, it could make more sense. Its alleged love potion status has yet to be verified scientifically, although some studies have suggested that eating this sea alice could improve testosterone level and sperm quality and quantity. So it's the same old story with zinc, magnesium, boron. If it's going to improve testosterone level, it's most likely going to be insignificant. And then it also depends, bound or free testosterone. You know, it's not just as simple as you think it is. Don't be put off by the sea cucumber's NSFW appearance, by the way. As someone who's eaten this alleged marine manhood enhancer many times, I can attest that it lacks a strong flavor. The critter takes on the taste of the sauce in which it is slow cooked or braised, like an Epicurean shapeshifter, okay, buddy? Most unique is its paradoxically gelatinous and crunchy mouthfeel, which evokes the love child of a cucumber and jello. Okay, buddy, take your meds. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the article of the libido-boosting sea turd, which could hold the secret to fighting cancer or avoiding TikTok and Twitter.